Hey, what's up, guys? Gangster Jeweler here. So today we are going to be working on a chain that the guy, for whatever reason, keeps breaking. I don't know why he keeps breaking it. Well, I know why he keeps breaking it. He keeps getting it caught on something. It must be too long. But you can definitely tell it got pulled because here's where it broke at. Right. Is it that link? Maybe it's on this side. Well, what the fuck? Thought there was a link that was actually broke. I guess not. Well, the link that I thought there was a broke link, but I guess not. Oh yeah, there we go. So you can see it got pulled, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. See how that got snapped and then it got pulled this way? So it definitely got hooked on something. Now on these Cubans and like Figaros, you need to try to make sure you link them in correctly, because if it don't lay right, then the necklace or bracelet's going to twist on you. And some of them you actually have to take a link out. Like some of them, in order for them to lay right, because the way they're crisscrossed, you have to remove a link so that it lays correctly. So that's always something to keep in mind. Looks like that's going to lay perfect right in the crevice there. So let's go ahead and get us some pliers. We'll go ahead and push that together. See if we can push that together. Now the trick is, when they're in a crevice like that, you don't want to use a whole bunch of solder, because if that crevice gets filled up too much, then the link isn't going to lay down in the slot there. I really don't like where this is broke at. It's broke right in that crevice where the link would lay into. And I don't usually like those spots. I try to fix them, but if it gets to where I can't lay the link in there, I'll just take that link out, and then, because I like to cut them from the side and weld them from the side here, then you ain't got to worry about the, oh shit. Now we got to figure out which link it was. Dang it. Dang it. Oh, great. Dropped it out of my finger after I got it pushed together. Now we got to figure out. Now we got to figure out which one it was. Crap. What a bitch. I know it's one of these. Is it that one? I don't think it's that one. Well, damn. Ain't that a bitch? I hate when that happens. And now we're going to spend a little while trying to figure out which one it was again. That's what I get for not marking it, huh? Go figure. It's got to be, I think it's that one. Is it that one? No, ain't that one. Oh, yeah, it is. That one right there. Found it. Right there. Do not lose that thing this time, please. push her back together there. Can't believe it slipped out of my hand like that. Well, I can believe it, but... Alright, now let's find our locking tweezers. Locking tweezers. I hear Lord Mark in the background saying, well, if you clean your desk, you find your tweezers. Alright. Okie dokie. Now, we're going to switch to a 4 tip for this. We had a 5 on from the ring that we did last video. Where is our 4 at? That's a 3. Give me a 4. That's a 7. That's a 4. There we go. You could use a 4 or a 3. Just depends on your preference. I like to use, as a general rule, I like to use 5 for rings, ring sizing, fixing shanks on rings, stuff like that. Smaller items like hollow bracelets, hollow chains, I like to use a 4 or sometimes a 3. But usually I'm using 5 or 4. I will use a 6 now. If it's like a really thick, wide shank ring, then I might end up using a 6 tip. But I use 4 and 5 mostly, more than anything. Out of most things anyways. Alright, let's go ahead and get our boric acid denatured alcohol here. We'll drip some on there. Drip some on there. We'll go ahead and set her on fire. Light her up. It didn't burn very much. Ain't quite as dramatic as when you dip the ring in there and the whole thing catches on fire. Don't hurt it. Just puts a fire coat over it so you don't get a bunch of fire scale later on. Now we shouldn't need a very big flame. We are going to be using hard solder though. Well, I use hard for everything. I think that's a good practice. To start out using hard on everything, because I think if you start using extra easy, and don't look, I'm not saying I haven't used easy or extra easy. When I first started out, I did, but I think eventually you want to try to get to where you can do hard on everything, even hollow stuff, because it can be done, but hard solder is just so much more, as you guys know, so much more durable than easy or extra easy or medium. Oh, okay, so I cut solder and it is gone. No, it is not. I found it. I found it. There we go. I was going to say, we done lost our solder already, guys. I guess let me go ahead and put some flux on here. Only time I don't use flux is usually like when I'm doing prongs and I got a stone setting in there, because the flux will bubble up and cause the stone to move in the setting. So I don't really use flux in that instance, but every other time I use flux. Let's see, let me zoom you guys in here. Well, hopefully that's zoomed in enough. Alright guys, try to keep you in focus here. We're definitely going to need a bigger flame than what we got at the moment here. Definitely need a bigger flame. Oh, shit, that went fast, didn't it? That went quick. Let's see if that, I don't even know if that went where I wanted it to. I don't think it did. Let's get us another piece real quick. Don't quite think that went where I wanted it to. Kind of bounced off a little bit there. Alright, let's crank this heat down just a hair. Alright. Now, let's give this another shot. Damn sure jumped off to the side on me there. Damn sure did. There we go. So now if I can just get her to pull down a little bit. There we go. Fuck yeah. Perfect. All right. And remember, guys, the solder is going to follow the heat. So if you need the solder to move to one side or the other and get it to the other side, it'll follow it. All right. Perfect. Let me zoom you guys back out here. So there's our weld right there. That worked out super good. And didn't mess with the laying of the link. So that's good as well. Let's go ahead and smooth this out with our silicone wheel a little bit, kind of clean it up. Clean her up a little bit here. Alright guys, let me get a general idea where this link is at. So it's on the end tab side over here. I'm going to drop this into ultrasound and then we'll come back and we'll polish this. Is it broke on that side too? No, it's damn near close though. Boy, this thing's been through a number. Alright. Drop this in ultrasound. We'll go polish that link up and polish the rest of the necklace. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we are ready to get this thing polished up. We're going to start with our link, which is right here. We're going to polish it first and then we'll get the rest of the chain done. Yeah, this chain is, I was looking at some of these other links. Some of these other links are just, it's just wore the fuck out, man. Because over time, that's why it broke on the end. A lot of these ends on there are thin, and that's just from the links constantly rubbing back and forth. So I always like to say the less moving parts on your jewelry, the better. Because the more moving parts you got, the more problems you're gonna have down the road, y'all. That's why I like a solid rope chain. A solid rope chain, you don't see very many of those come through the door or work on or whatever, because they don't break very often. They don't have any really moving parts except for around the clasp area. They do there, but other than that, you know. Alright, let's get the rest of this chain looking presentable, because otherwise it's gonna look funny having a couple links polished and the rest of it all dull looking. Alrighty. Now we'll go ahead and put it on the wheel here, get this whole thing polished up. Then we'll go back on the same side here, the opposite direction. Alright, then we will do the same thing on this side. And then we'll go back the opposite direction on this side. All right. And like that, we are back together, polished. Got her looking like a new chain, y'all. Let's go drop this in ultrasound, get all this rouge off of it. We'll come back looking finished product, guys. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back with that chain. You can see we got her nice cleaned and polished. Got my fingerprints all over it already. Jesus Christ. Got my prints all over it. Anyways, got her nice clean and polished, got her looking good, got her back together. But this was another fairly simple repair, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. This is the Gangster Jeweler. If you'd like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, the links for that will be down in the description, although it's not required. Just helps the channel grow and show some love. And maybe if you learn something from these videos, and I still got shit on my hands, damn. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Also, if you'd like for me to do your repairs, you can visit my Etsy shop. I'll have the link for that down in the description. And then also, if you would, if you're a business in the Jacksonville or Orange Park area and would like for me to start doing your repairs, shoot me an email. I'll have the link for that down in the description as well. If you want to check out my live streams on Kick, Beam, or Rumble, you can check those out. Those are more like reaction and gaming type live streams though. And then also, you can find the Gangster Jeweler on Rumble as well. Because I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, because YouTube's been canceling people over some weird stuff. You know, you never know when they get a wild hair up their ass. So I'm over on Rumble as well. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. This is Gangster Jeweler, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, y'all.